So what are you doing? Yeah, this is different, isn't it? I thought I'd give you a little update on what's going on here and show you around the shop, show you around the quad. Some stuff I said I was going to do, but I never have. So I thought I'd do that for you. So anyway, this this here is where I sit. This is my chair. Just, has all the normal stuff you would have around your chair, stuff that I need, like, speakers. I have speakers on either side. I have my phone, like everybody does. My drink over here. My little table that swings in and out. My monster breaker switch, one of two. That'll replace the ones that don't work all that well for my 72 volt batteries. My TV, of course. And then let's look around the place a little bit. This is my parts stand. It's my workstation, my work stand. It rolls around, not so good. It drives me crazy because the wheels don't work very well, but it's great for putting projects on and working from. It's beautiful. It looks like a mess, but I'm sure it's an organized mess right now. Just stuff that I'm working on my quad. This is stuff that I pulled off of it, and I have to put back onto it. But I'm working on that now. So we went through the hurricane, and that was a couple of weeks of intensity, like it always is when we have a hurricane. But we got through it just fine here in Port St. Lucie, for the most part. But what I went, I went off on a tangent here. What happened with us after the hurricane? I was so excited because I got my new Grin motor in, right? I installed it and I hardly even looked at the directions like I normally do. I mean, that's, the usual for me. But because I wanted to go out so bad, I couldn't even stand it. I wanted to try it. I was anticipating, I hardly hooked anything up for it. I just, hooked power. And of course that was stupid, but whatever, I found it out. Anyway, I took it out for my first, I didn't even, have the camera because it was just, I wanted to go right then. Anyway, I went out, I went too fast. I took a corner at way too high a speed. I didn't realize it. And I flipped it. Flipped the quad. Oh my God. Anyway, I got out of it relatively unscathed. I had a little cut on my head and a few pretty deep bruises from some of the bars gouging into me and stuff. The thing that I was worried about most is the quad. I mean, God. But God, out on the road where I thank God I was right here, where I dumped it. It didn't look like it was that bad. I lost one of the wheels. One of the wheels came off. The right front wheel came off. It was something. Anyway, I had to limp home a little bit, but it looked, I had to order a couple of parts, no big deal, stuff I've done before, repairable. Then I got home, and started, taking this off and taking that off, and realizing that the damage was really deep. and I guess I realized just how bad the wreck was. It didn't feel like it. I don't know if it looked like it. I had a couple of neighborhood kids come and help me. One of the kids was just great. He came and Didn't think he could lift the quad, but I didn't think he could, but he lifted it like nothing. And he came over and asked me if I was okay. He was awesome. He was really awesome. I really appreciated it. Anyway, him and his brother came over. Anyway, I went. The point was, I didn't realize how much damage there was on this thing until after I started pulling stuff apart and everything like that. And then I really realized, wow, there was a lot of tweakage. So, long story short, I've been waiting for parts and stuff like that. From both the place that I bought it from and from other places, just replacing parts and adding new parts. There's a couple of new things that I've added. I'll show you. In either case, okay. So that's kind of an overview. That's kind of why I just when I pointed to these things here, I realized, oh, I didn't tell them that I flipped my quad. And why are you taking those off, Dean? I thought they were perfect. Well, that's the reason. So, anyway, that's kind of what's been going on with me in my part of the world. So continue. Okay, so we've got these that are there that I'm working on. This is part of the seat that I'm putting over here to because this is the part spot. So this is where you put stuff to work on. This is invaluable. My zip tie basket that I bring around all over the shop, wherever I am, because I use them all over the place. I've used thousands of them, I'm sure. Anyway, this is for the new Magura brakes that just came in yesterday. These here, I use every single day. Every day I use these for something, one thing or another, It's just one of those items that you use all the time. Let's see. This stuff is just wire loom. That's all. It's called split sleeving because it's split, as you can kind of see here. You put the wire in the middle of it, and there's different sizes. I have a few different sizes of it. See, just all kinds of stuff, and it makes stuff look from this to this, so it makes it look a little bit better, right? Anyway, I have a lot of that to do, but I've also done some of it, as you can see. I've done this big old line that actually goes to the CYC motor when I put it up here. But we're going to we're passing by the elephant in the room. We can't do that. Okay. So, all right, that's it for the work table. Then we'll go over here to this. This is my parts shelf. Just has all kinds of stuff on it. All my parts. There's 2 boxes actually. I'm supposed to have one of these in here. These are shocks. One kind of shock there, and then the newer one there. I put the others that I got that are just like these, that are but they're 750 pound. I put those on my quad already, so those are on there already. Anyway, I've got, let's see, hopefully this isn't horrible. I think it probably is going to be, but sorry about that. Anyway, I've got electrical wires. I've got the BBSHD sprocket. I've got brake cutoff switches that didn't work. I've got more brake discs up here. I've got the 2 CYC motors there, mine and my son's. All kinds. I mean, I've got every bolt and nut and washer and everything you would need on a quad or a trike or a bike or anything. I've got different spacers and tire liners and a bunch of brake pads and some tubes for my rear tires, and my tubes for my front tires are up there. My replacements, if I ever need them. I think that's it for them, for that. And then let's see. Oh, here's my big old Harbor Freight 20-gallon air compressor that I got for cheap. Everybody needs one of those, right? And then parts shelf, just stuff that I have, you know. And this is kind of a mixture between bike and just regular tools and stuff, you know. This is just a shelf, you know, with all the stuff that you would normally, you know, whatever. Here is zip tie land with the different sizes. I just built a little stupid little wooden thing real quick and put all my different size zip ties in it, and then the zip tie gun. God, if you've never used one of these things, it is the absolute best thing ever. It pulls them and cuts them off perfectly every single time. Anyway, yeah, that's that. All this stuff. This is from my father-in-law. I use this all the time for electrical stuff. Man, I use it constantly. Never used it before I got my quad, and I use it constantly now. Soldering gun, never did that before. Now I'm doing it all the time. All my electrical wires and stuff like that. This stuff here is for the mounting the batteries to the back of the quad and the Stevens trike. Oh, the parts graveyard that I talk about every once in a while. There it is. My electrical box that has my electrical contacts and, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's all in here. Let's see. Where will we go now? Around the side. By the elephant in the room. All right, so let me look from out here. All right, so this is the wall that has all my stuff on it. Right here is my air compressor hose. I can reel that wherever I need to reel it out to. I usually especially after it rains, if I get any wetness on my quad, I'll spray it off with this. I also use this, which is my air saw. I didn't think I'd ever own one of those, but I do, and I use it all the time now. My helmet, Stevens helmet, my apron, my jacket that I'll be using pretty quick here, I'm sure. And then, you know, all my park tools. This is the stuff that I really wanted, that I use all the time, you know, that I wanted right at my fingertips. So that's what I did. I bought mounts for them so that everything could sit up on the wall here. And that's it. And there's one of my rear tires that I took off my my quad because I had to mess with the brakes back there because I changed the parking brake from the front to the back. When I got the new Avid brake parking brake, I put it on the back instead of on the front. So that's why that's off, because it's easier to work on stuff with the wheels off. So hey, we're back. It's a new day. Wearing the same shirt, I think. But it's I think a week later or so. I just got finished watching the video, so I'm kind of starting off hopefully where I left off there with our little shop tour. So I've got, I don't know, a little bit of progress since the last time, since, you know, just now. that you are watching on the quad anyway. So that'll be the last thing I'll show you, okay? All right, on this side, because we finished on the other side, I think. Yeah. So on this side is just my toolbox with mostly park tools in it. Here it is. So you can see that. I don't know if you want to see in it, I guess. There's this side. I have it kind of organized to what I use it for. I use a lot of these tools, quite a bit actually. These, this. This is for brakes. I use that every once in a while. I will be using this for the BBS HD motor. I haven't used this or this yet. Oh, this I'm in all the time. This is for what you call it? For chains, for changing tires mostly. Brakes, brake disc alignment tool, brake levers in all kinds of different way shapes. This is like a brake check tool to see if your brake check, chain checking tool to see if your chain has stretched. This here I haven't, yeah, I have used it once to put a cassette on. Anyway, I use all that stuff a lot. This is another drawer I'm in a lot. You can see I'm missing a tool. It's over on the quad right now. But I use this stuff and this stuff all the time. This stuff I use every once in a while. This here is, let's see if I can open it with one hand. Yeah, these are my calipers, my digital calipers. I've used those. I was able to use them a couple of times so far. This one I think I'll use a little bit when I start putting the quad back together. This is a Park Tool torque wrench. This is a cool tool. Really cool tool. When it gets to torque, the head pivots, so you know when it's at torque. That's cool. It's a little dial right here. It's neat. Anyway, there's that. This is the I don't have a place to put it tool, and I don't use it very much tool. I don't know if I'll ever use this bad boy. This is a very useful tool when you need it. You need it, and it's like a lifesaver. Can you guess what it is? When you're doing, like I will be doing on my quad here pretty quick, I have a parking brake that's just a cable brake on my quad that got roughed up on my my spill and my wreck, so I had to get another one. And I also moved it to the back instead of on the front. Anyway, this will pull the cable and then hold it there while you tighten it. And even though that probably sounds, if you've never done that before, it probably sounds like, oh, well, why don't you just hold it with one hand and tighten it with the other? Because it's hard. That makes it so simple. Somebody invented it. And then this is an invaluable tool as well. This here, I've done a million of these bad boys. This cuts your hydraulic brake cable right there, where my thumb is. It cuts it right here, see? Right there, boom. And then this action right here You put your brake cable in here, clamp it with this, clamp it in here, and this shoves the little barb into the end of it so that you can make a new brake cable. It's a cool tool. Then of course my hammer. All below here is all lube stuff, my wax lube, cleaning stuff, my the part tool grease, both kinds. This is a brake bleed kit. This is a I call it a caliper. What does it say on it? Dial indicator. It's just a precise indicator for my truing stand. That's all. I have right here. This is something I bought because it was essential. It cuts tubing straight because it has little different size slots on either side. It clamps the tubing. It's invaluable tool. Right here, this thing. Oh, I've got you sideways, don't I? This thing here is also invaluable. That is a tube cutter, it clamps onto a tube and makes it guides your drill to make a perfectly centered hole in that tubing, which is, think about it. How do you drill a hole in a piece of tubing, especially small tubing? The drill bit would just go all over the place, right? Yeah. But if you have one of those, it doesn't, because you find where, you make a dot where you want the hole, then you put this clamp on there, clamp it down exactly where you want it to go, and your drill bit doesn't go anywhere. And then boom, it has a little guide, a little bushing in there that you put your drill bit in, and whoop, you go right through it. It's sweet. It's amazing, and I never knew it existed before I got this friggin' quad. There's lots of stuff like that I've used that I had no idea. That actually made me. I'm going to say this wrong. I was able to drill these holes because of that hold my new seat on. This is the new seat because the other one was all screwed up. And of course, when they send the seat, they don't have holes drilled. So I had to drill those holes. So anyway, that's what that is. Okay, let's see. Well, this is one of 4 grease guns. I just love this type of grease gun, and Part Tool had some, so why wouldn't I get them? Anyway, and I have 4 different kinds of grease in them. This has been kind of the charging station for right now. Oh, I forgot. There's the rubber mallet. Invaluable tool. I mean, couldn't live without that tool. Okay, charging station. These 2 are for the 48-volt batteries that came with the quad and the BBSHD motor that goes with it. Those batteries right now run the first motor, the BBSHD, the Fang motor. That's a mid-drive motor, and they also run all the lighting and all the electronics on the quad. I've done all the electronics on it. Anyway, those are those battery chargers. Also, I have this little charger thing. So this is kind of the charging area for all my little stuff. This here is the battery for my wireless derailleur. This is for the camera that that I'm using right now. This is the remote for it that I'll have on my quad. So it'll be right at hand. I can turn it on and off and record and stuff like that. This, let's see if I can get it. This here is one of 2 cycle satiators from Grin Technologies. This is badass. This is a charger that charges my big, well, it'll charge any battery, but it charges my big ass 72 volt batteries, and it balances the cells inside each battery, so that everything is perfect. And I have different settings for each battery, my 2 and Steven's 1. And then I also have different settings for the 48 volt batteries, and it'll do them individually. It's so cool. It's an overnight trickle charge, so it takes a long time. It takes 8 hours or whatever it does, but it shuts off. It doesn't when it's done. It doesn't. It's really smart. It's from Grin, so of course it's smart. Anyway, that's where that is. For some reason, I can't find. I looked before I started talking to you guys. I can't find my other 2. Fast chargers. I have 2 fast chargers that I bought with the 2 72 volt batteries, and I can't find them. They're here someplace. I just they're under something because it's such a mess out here. I just don't know where. So anyway, moving on. Let's see. Oh, this thing is awesome. So this is just one of those little things you get at Sears or something 1,000 years ago, and I got one of those probably for Father's Day or something. And this thing, I just bolted to it, and that I put my wheels on when I have a flat, when I need to change tires, when whatever. I've used it a million times. It's so awesome. You can either put it this way or you can put it straight up and down. You can also put it straight this way. It's awesome. I just pull this whole thing out and change a tire. It's sweet because it's right, at waist level. It's what the pros do. They take stuff off to do it. Anyway, these are obviously, I have 226s and 220s. The 20s are inside the 26s. Those are the tires that I have on my quad right now, but I have a new spare, like I have, everything else, spares for everything else. And then we come to this bad boy, which is my truing stand. And then I bought, this is a stand for, I don't know, something in a restaurant. You would put a slicer or something on, but I thought it was a perfect height and everything for this truing stand, so that's what I did. Anyway, I got my truing stand. This is like my baby. I love this thing. This is the upgraded version, the one for pretty much any kind of tire. I could do truck tires on this. Well, maybe not truck tires, but any kind of bike tires anyway. And then, of course, the only wheels, I should say, not tires. Anyway, the only problem is they don't have an adapter for one-sided wheels, which is what these are. If you don't know what that is, this is a one-sided hub. That's what makes it a one-sided wheel. See how that's just on one side? Anyway, so what I had to do here, because this, is a truing stand, so it makes your wheel true, or you make your wheel true by the guides that it gives you. These 2 guides, so that when you turn this around, you see where it's off, and you just stop it and you twist on the appropriate spoke or spokes, and you true the wheel. In either case, they don't make an adapter. Like this is an adapter for a through axle. That's what this is. Well, you can see I made an adapter here because on the other side, that's my one-sided hub. See? So now it's in the middle, so I can actually use these. And I have. This is the one that I broke a couple of spokes out of, 3 or 5, I don't remember. In either case, there was a few of them, so it was all wobbly. Now I don't know if you can see it, but I have it moving right now, and it's for a novice. I think that's pretty good. Here, I'll spin it. I think that looks pretty good. What do you think? It goes a little bit, but you know what? I think I'm good. Anyway, this is a spoke tensioner. Tells you exactly. You won't be able to see the little marks on it, but it tells you exactly how much tension you have on each spoke. It's hard to do with 20s, just because of how long this thing is. You have to get it in there. It's difficult. In either case, it's a cool tool. Anyway, this is all my little stuff that I have. You know, more of these bad boys that have different kinds of. You can see that has maybe you can see that has the red grease in it. That's the mobile grease, the real high class stuff. This one is, this one's the green grease. This is the grease that I use all the time. This is just a magnetic bowl that I use, that in my mind, this is where my bolts are. So anywhere in the shop, if I take a bolt off someplace, I put it here. Or hopefully I put it here, because this is where I'm going to go to it. This one is off one of my wheels. I know that just because of looking at it. I've taken them off 1,000 times. Anyway, whatever, it doesn't matter. All right, what's next? This is all my cleaning stuff and my bearing press. Never thought I'd say that. Never thought I'd have a bearing press. Anyway, some clamps, one of my toolboxes. This is all the stuff that I'm going to be putting on my quad. These are for the brakes. This is one of the Magura brakes. Hopefully that wind isn't too bad for you. I'm trying to turn away from it so it's not that bad. Anyway, that's all the stuff that I'm going to be putting back on my quad. This stuff is the battery hold downs that I'm going to be painting. That's why they're not on my quad right now. This one will hold this battery and it'll go right here. I've had it in there already, but before I clamped it down, I wanted to paint it. That's why it's out right now. So that's that stuff. Let's see. This is my little roll around chair, stool. I love that thing. I'm rolling around all over the place on this. This right here, believe it or not, is a hydraulic, an electric hydraulic jack. Look, this will be on the back. This is going to be on the back of my quad, in the big box on the back of my quad, because I used to be able to change a tire or a tube on the side of the road, no problem, because I just flip it up on the side. It's heavy, but I can flip it up on the side, and I can, if up against a bench or something, and then I can do it. I can fix the tube, no problem. Now I've got 36 and 36, or no, 37 and 37, plus the new brand motor. Lots of pounds that I added on it, so I can't lift that thing. So I have the electric hydraulic, jack. So now I can just stick it under there, and it's 12 volts, so I can stick it under there and jack it up. But then you have to figure, okay, well, that's a lot. That's 12 volt. How am I going to do that? Well, I've converted, because I have it on my quad. I have a DC to DC converter that I convert the whatever voltage. I can do it off my 72 volt batteries or my 48 volt batteries. Right now, I have them off my 48 volt batteries. That's why I can run all these lights and all the electronics off of the 48 volt batteries, because the controller brings the 48 volts down to 12. Boom, done. So anyway, so now I can actually power this, but then I needed the interface, the connection. So I'll show you that in a second. Anyway, all right, on to this. This is Steven's trike that's under construction, because he's not doing anything with it at all. So this is where it sits. So now we'll go on to the quad, the last thing, okay? Here it is. Here's the quad in all its ugliness right now. Back end, obviously, I have the right rear tire off, or wheel off, because that's over there, because I'm doing stuff in there, so I needed to have the wheel off. The wheel, if you have the wheels off, it's just easier to get at anything. So that's what I did. So this is one of the 72 volt batteries. The other one's there. I showed you that mounts there. This is the DC to DC controller that I talked to you about. The steps the motor from the 48 volt batteries that are up front down to 12 volts, and that goes to this panel right here. That's what these two, that's the negative and the positive, goes to a negative and a positive panel that goes to everything. And I know that, I realize that it looks like a mess, but it really doesn't. Anyway, doesn't matter. That's what that stuff is. I have the LED lights here. I have all the rest of the lights that are all over the darn thing. I don't think I have it turned on right now. Let's see. Turn on one of the 48 volt batteries and turn this on. Oh yeah, okay. So that shows, all of the lights as they are kind of right now. That's how that looks. I think it's cool. Anyway, that's that. Turn that back off. So that's that. I have made these new panels just to cover up all the electronics, because I didn't want everybody seeing all that stuff down there. So I've covered it up with this. What this is right here. This is a breaker switch for my 72 volt battery, the left battery. I have one on the right as well. I have this just mirrored on the other side. So I have the breaker for that, so I can switch between batteries. Because I have a battery mixer, or whatever they call it, the little box. This right here. I have this that you're supposed to be able to throw both batteries onto it, no problem, and it blends them, and it's no problem. I just have an issue with that in my brain somehow. So what I do is I have a switcher right here for it, so I can go, between the two. In either case, that's that. Then I have these. One 12 volt. This is like a cigarette lighter in your car. Gives you 12 volt, and that'll do my my hydraulic jack. that'll provide the electricity for my hydraulic jack. Then I have here a USB. This lights up blue. It's kind of cool looking when I have it powered. Anyway, that's just USB to charge any USB device on the side of, you know, somebody's has a complete emergency and they absolutely have to have a USB charger. Boom, there you go. You can say, hey, I've got one right here on board, and you're, you know, golden. So moving on, let's see here, moving on. Oh, this I just got mounted, this whole thing. This is just a seat side basket that is real spacious inside. You can put your lunch or you can put whatever in there. I have one coming for the right side. I didn't know if it was going to fit, so I just bought one to see, you know. I'll move these two brackets, hold it to the seat. See, this is the seat, and this holds the post out here that holds this. So what I'll do is I'll end up moving this bracket over here, cutting this, and then putting the other one over here with two more brackets that'll come here and here. So we'll have two brackets here and two brackets here, and we'll have one pole here and then the other pole here going up to the other one. So that's, you know, kind of what that is about. And then let's see, all these wires and stuff that you see all over the place will be cleaned up fairly nicely. They'll look more like this when I'm finished. That's what I've been doing for the past while, in combination with all the rest. Anyway, so that's the bag. This is my water bottle, my Yeti water bottle. I love my water bottle, but I don't love this little holder thing. So I got another one that looks a little bit better, a little bit sturdier, made out of aircraft aluminum, of course. That's all they make anything for this stuff with. And it looks good, whatever. So that's that. This is the stereo that I'm thinking about mounting right here. That's the amp for it. Let's see. Oh, this thing. See, this is one of those things where if I didn't buy and research and buy this particular bag, it wouldn't have this arm that goes out here. So my handlebar would have crushed it. So I didn't get this from a recumbent place because they charge you $1,000 for anything anyway. But this just came from a regular bike place, and I think I got it off Amazon actually. And it came with this, and this is detachable. There's a quick release button right here that detaches it if you want. I probably never will do that, but you know, whatever. That's that. This I'm thinking about going and putting it there just to have it by my side. This is where I'll put the remote for the camera. This is my wrist rest. Well, I don't know why it was just doing that. It just blinked at me for some reason. Anyway, all right, where was I? Okay, this is the wrist rest. That is so, I mean, that's safety freaking gear, right? Wrist rest, so your hand doesn't fall off and fall on the tire, fall on the wheel. That's it, safety gear. This is for my wireless derailleur up and down button for the gears right here. This is my throttle for, I call it the left motor, which is my BBS HD motor. This is the the display for the BBS HD motor. This is for my phone. It's a wireless charger, and it holds my phone really good. It also has a USB-C port underneath, so you can charge other things with it. I have the controller right here for my BBS HD motor. This is just where I usually have my camera. It's the best place that I've found where I can actually talk to you guys and comfortably, and show, you know, everything else as well. Let's see. So this is the BBS HD motor right here. This is it right here. Okay, it connects to the front, to your cranks, to the back here, if you can see that. There's a chain idler right here, and then it goes back there to the cassette, rear cassette back there, that in turn runs the rear wheels. But in the center of those two items is my big ol' Grin Technologies hub motor that's in the middle of my quad. This is it right here. So it runs the rear wheels. You can see there's a cog there that goes back to another cog there that runs the rear axle. You see that? That goes to the rear wheels. So that's how that whole thing works. This is the controller for the Grin Tech motor. So that's that. The only other thing that's really wired right now, well, everything is wired kind of, but the only other thing is right here. If you can see this, this goes all the way down here and then all the way to the front, because that's where I'm going to put, if and when I put my CYC mid-drive on. That's where I'll put it. So that's where that is. Let's see. So that's the whole left side. Well, the right side is a little bit uglier, but we can go over there and look at it. Well, everything's pretty much ugly right now. Anyway. Oh, here's some stuff that's being prepared to be painted. Those are hold downs for the batteries, because I made those little enclosures for them. So the hold downs will clamp it actually to my quad, to the frame, so it won't go away when I go over these crazy bumps that I go over. Anyway, all right. So here's the right side. Move that back so you can see it. All right. Here's the right side. Here's the Grin Tech screen. What is this called? Gosh darn it. It's got a name to it. It's got a cool name to it. I forget. Oh, Psychoanalyst. That's what this is. Psychoanalyst. This is so cool. This is a computer for, it controls the Grin Tech motor. It's badass. I mean, this thing is incredible. You can tune everything on this motor. Everything. It's amazing. Anyway, that's part of why I crashed, because I didn't tune it. Here's the button for it, the controller. Here's the on-off switch, one of the on-off switches that I'm going to have to the lights or something. That's coming to a point here real quick. Let's see. Here's the ugliness on the back of this, and then it'll end up looking real pretty like this. I have a little itty bitty bell that I finally got on here. See? That's my bell. And then I will be getting rid of this because it has driven me insane for the last time, so I'm going to get rid of it. And I have a new horn coming, just a plain everyday electric horn that's coming. And then the last thing, the only thing that I've added to it, I think, oh, this is the new seat, by the way. Yeah, seat. you won't see any of this stuff when I'm done. It'll look a lot better. Well, I certainly hope so, because I'll move the old seat on here. Anyway, seat cover. That's that. I'll have some new tires. These two tires, they're 20s for the front. I'll put them on to give us a little bit more tread, because these are a little bit low. Let's see. Oh, the Magura brakes. There's one of them, the Maguras. These are the e-stop brakes that have the wire to the motor, so the motor will actually cut off. But with the Grintech motor, the cool thing about these brakes is, the brakes in conjunction with the motor, is that the motor has regenerative braking. So when you just barely touch this, it doesn't engage the actual brakes, but it stops the engine and starts regen. So it starts slowing you down with the motor itself. And what you can do with this Grintech motor is hold this just a little bit so it engages the regen, and then as you're holding this, you press your throttle, and it throttles up or down the braking of the motor. It's so cool. Anyway, I don't have practical knowledge of that, so I'll show you guys what that means. Yeah, so that's that. I'm excited about that. The last thing is the new whatchamacallit, this guy. What do you think about him? You like him? Sitting there smoking a cigar with his monkey wrench. What do you think? I think he's cool as hell. Look at this guy saying, "Hey, what's up?" Oh my God, I collected monkeys as a kid, so I really do love monkeys. But this guy is just so cool. I needed something for a hood ornament. I needed something. I didn't know what. But this guy, this is it. This is just the coolest thing ever. So awesome. Anyway, that's the tour. Hopefully you liked it. That was it. I'll be back. I just wanted to give you an update because I haven't been out, on the road for, God, I think a month. So, I'll go back out there again, and whenever I'm finished with this, hopefully in a few days, probably next week, I'll be out there. So, get it all buttoned up, and I'll see you guys back out there, I guess. Oh, yeah, I thought so. It's 4:20. That means it's time to settle in. I'll sit here and contemplate and probably fix the world's problems, I'm guessing. I usually do. Oh, please remember, if you're watching all the way to the end, you obviously are liking these videos, so please subscribe to my channel. It helps me huge. It really does. I'm trying to grow it, so please help out. It doesn't cost you anything. Subscribe, like each one of my videos that you like, and give me comments, because I love comments. It's so much fun coming home from a ride and looking on YouTube on my channel to see if I have comments and answering the comments. It's so much fun interacting with you guys, so please do. Anyway, that's it. I'll see you guys. Have a great day or night or morning.